Hi guys, it's like 10 to 2. I am on my way to the airport to pick up my mom. I'm so excited. If you weren't on my first live, by the way, yesterday, she is coming in for the next couple weeks from Amarillo. So I'm excited, except that I don't know what I was thinking that I could get there in 40 minutes. I forgot it's going to be rush hour. So I'm going to be like 20 minutes late, but that should give her enough time to get off of the plane and go to the bathroom and go down to get her luggage and meet me outside. So it should all work out. But so I'm going to be not MIA, but I'm still working during the day, but then I'm spending the nights with her. I'm dropping her off at my aunt's house because it's not fair for her to just sit at my house during the day if I'm working. So today was a bad day. Such a bad day. First of all, Michael had a $200 order, I think, again, for the exact same place that he had it from yesterday. And he got it late again, like he got the one for yesterday. And then at like 9 o'clock this morning, it got canceled. So I'm assuming it was placed late. And then when the manager got in this morning, because it was only going 0.4 miles, so I'm assuming that they decided to keep, because it was such a huge tip. So we were kind of banking on that. So that was the first downfall. And then I could not make money today to save my life. I don't know what happened. There was nothing, no shopping, orders, Amazon, Walmart, nothing. There was zero. So I had 2 catering orders, one for 40 and one for 29, and that's basically all that I made. I did have to quit a little bit early. Not really. I was done. My second one was done at 12. No, I picked it up at 12:30 at 1 o'clock. And then I came home to feed the cats and then realized how long of a drive it really was to the airport and had to get out. So I do have something on Zifty tomorrow. Nothing great. So I'm really hoping that Delivered sends me something good. 1 week from today, I should be receiving my first Elite offer, which I hope that I'm not over amplifying this and it's not going to be anything different than what it is now, because I really need it to be big. I really need the orders to start coming in, like Elite orders. I'm just afraid that there's going to be too many Elites. But I did watch an interview, I forget who was doing it, with Chris Barnes last night. It was a 2-week-old interview. So a lot of things have changed. He said that this Emerald thing will be changing quite a bit until they, get it down pat. The one thing that won't change, he said, was the on time for the pickup and the drop off, because that's what they get rated on from ezCater. And I know that's true because every app is like freaking out now. I think this new CEO, this is my opinion, came in and said, these are the metrics, follow them, do whatever you have to do to make your drivers understand that, but this is how you are going to receive orders. So if your drivers are late, you're not going to receive orders. And he did say that since they implemented the coming of the new Elite system, their on times have skyrocketed. So, but then he also did say that he didn't mention the market, but that there was a customer that I'm assuming ezCater called him and said, this is a very important customer. Make sure that you put somebody good on it. And then he's like, oh yeah, you've got an Elite driver. That's one of our best and whatever. He's like, then I looked at it after I hung up and the driver's late 50% of the time. He's like, and guess what? He was late to that pickup. So I get that people are mad, but don't get mad at Delivered or Zift. Don't get mad at the apps, because they're just doing what ezCater is telling them that they have to do in order to get orders. So just like we're rushing right now to get our stats up, they're rushing to get their stats up. And unfortunately, they're hand in hand. So their stats only go up if our stats go up. But anyways, I digress. He did say that, or he at least alluded to looking into the dispatch to be done location-based, or at least a little more location-based. Because now if people have the ability to be Elite, and I'm not going to lie, you guys know that I was the one that was not literally crying, but crying that I will never make Elite, even though My stats when this went on were 92. So I had good stats to begin with. And I mean, they're 100 now because it's only the last 30, but my overall is a 95, my lifetime. But I was just missing it every single quarter. And when I tell you I took bad orders, I took them because it was a number. I tried to, it was so much easier when it was location based. And then I had a full-time job as well, and I was still doing an order a day at lunch because I was able to leave for my lunch hour, go to the restaurant, and make the delivery and get back in time all within an hour because it was location based. So I'm not going to say I took all $20 orders, but I took my share, trust me. I took my husband's share too because I was trying so hard to get to be elite, and there was no way of me catching, short of somebody moving out of the state, getting sick, going on vacation for like a long time. There was no way I was going to make it because and I've never argued the fact that if you are elite, you should get the best orders. I understand that. That's why I wanted it. But not all of the elites should have been elite. And I will always go back to the one person who doesn't. They showed up, with no bags when they did an order with my husband. It was a multi-driver order. I think it was 3 of them, maybe 4. Didn't have any hot bags. So they're like, oh, well, there's nothing we could do because we have no bags to put them in. Okay, but you're elite. You're supposed to be like the best of the best, and you're supposed to be the example. Then when I did one with them, it was, oh, I have another order. I can't take this up to the floor. So I'm like, just leave it, because at that point I just wanted them to go, and left. Got paid the exact same amount that I did, took a picture in their cart, and that was it. So these are the type of people that I don't believe should be. It's just my opinion. I just think that there needed to be a reevaluation of some of the elites. And I do believe it was Charlie I spoke to when he called me about one of my emails of, do I even have a shot to ever make elite? And he called me and he said that there was some not in my market, but that he was making phone calls after me, taking people's elite status away, and they're not allowed to get it back for at least 6 months because they weren't performing. So I was also told, I don't know if it's true or not, that the reason that the location based went away was because of the elites, because they wanted all of the orders. And obviously anybody but me, let me just make that very clear, anybody but me is going to travel for those $100 orders, and I will, just not downtown Underwacker. So my husband will, I will not. But I don't know. I think that if it goes back to location based because there's more elites, there's no need for people to have to travel. Even if I get like a $60 order, let's say, I don't know, 20 miles away from me, I would rather take a $40 order that's right in my neighborhood than a $60 order and travel 20 miles. I'm sure everybody would. So if they could just go back to location based, it would make my day. But I am a little nervous off the bat of who's going to be elite, because it's going to be very overly saturated. But again, I don't think it's going to last, because I think people are going to just fall back into old habits, especially knowing that it's 30 orders. So, okay, if I lose it now, I can just, within a month or a month and a half, I'll get it back, whatever. But I think people are going to go back to stacking. And I don't understand how they can do that, because there was one time that I did have 2 orders, and they were 15 minutes apart. One was delivered and one was Zifty. And ezCater called me to you have 2 orders, there's not enough time to get in between. I said, but there is. Trust me, I know where it is, and I will be able to get to both of them. And they allowed me to keep it, but they called to let me know that. And I would, at that point, then I thought that they had this big master screen, and red lights would go off if, a driver took more than one. And I don't know how that they're allowing that if that's the case. But it is what it is. So back to my original statement. And here is delivered. That is a good sign. Let's see if it's good. No, it's a $20 order. I just don't understand. I think I'm in an algorithm for $20 orders. I mean, it's in my area. It's $82 worth of food. I can't. It's Wednesday. I can't do that. I gotta decline it. And I feel so guilty declining because, I mean, we all know delivered is my absolute favorite, but I just can't do these $20. Why are they sending me a $20 order at $201? $201 is usually the $100, $150, $200 orders. So, I don't know. I just fear that I am in this algorithm of $20 and $30 orders that I'm never going to get myself out of. So, we'll have to see. I'll get last minute $100 orders where Michael gets them, you know, at a normal, the 201 to 205 range. I get them at 4 o'clock or the day of. So I have to figure out what to do with that. Maybe I'll email them and see is there some kind of algorithm if I'm accepting, although they send me offers for downtown all the time and I delete those or deny those. So I don't know. I should be in an algorithm of she does not want to go downtown. Here's another one, $33. It's going 11 miles. Uncle Julio's pickup by the mall to go 11 miles. It's not even a good time. I can't do these. I'm supposed to, like, I know that right now I am the person that is right below all of the elites. I get that there's not a lot of orders, but I just can't do these. I can make more shopping or doing DoorDash or whatever and not have to drive as far. I don't know. This is my dilemma, guys. Like, I want this so bad. Now here's a $48 order. Vernon Hills to Grease Lake. Let's see. Bibby Bobbin, Vernon Hills. I guess I'll take this one. Not real happy about it, but I'll take it. At least it's a decent amount of money. So it went from 20 to 33 to 48. Why could they not have just given me the 48 first? I don't know. If I would have held out, I probably would have gotten something better. But whatever. I know I can, although it's a 12 o'clock delivery. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But back to my original statement. A week from now is when I'll get my first offer, and I really hope that it's not $20. So I tried to go live, but nobody was coming in, and I didn't want to have to keep looking to see if people were in to start talking because I am driving. But I was going to put, like, just so you guys can see downtown. Not that nobody sees it for PJ. I mean, that's part of the beauty of his lives besides him is the scenery. So, but I will let you guys go because I have to call my husband now and see if he got anything. But I hope you guys were making lots of money today, and I'm so excited to get to spend some time with my mom tonight. Our first stop will be Portillo's. She loves Portillo's beef. So that's where we'll go. She will probably have it 10 times by the time she leaves. And I'm just excited that she's going to be here. She'll be landing in about half hour. So, but anyways, I hope you guys are having a good day, making lots of money, and we will chat later.